Well, just a quick one here, because I honestly just don't think passing judgment on an open beta is really worth the effort, because a beta is when major issues are supposed to get ironed out, or at least that's the theory. So the finals has been having what is seemingly going to be the final open beta phase. I put up some serious hours in this game already, and you know, it's actually really refreshing. The concept is really propelling, and the gameplay is nothing short of chaotic at times. The base gameplay is already fairly polished and only really needs some balancing, in my opinion. Like, if you're one of those dudes running around with the absolutely busted flamethrower right now, well, no one likes you, and I hope you're having a bad day. The game's also got some issues with like a lack of region locking.
It's Chinese for Japan.
So cool.
And broken matchmaking, just putting you on a team by yourself when there's clearly a lot of people playing.
Whoa. Of course!
A few moments later.
But like I said, beta. What I'm here to criticize is something not only cheap and disrespectful of talents working in the space, but also an affront to creativity in general. A lot of the time people talk about the slippery slopes in life, but this is one topic I'm sure most of you have been exposed to by now. AI.
Yes.
Okay, so the main premise of the game is that you're in some kind of VR game show type setting with announcers talking over your gameplay.
Let's go, everybody!
Our contestants will be coin hungry here in Bankit. They can grab them from vaults or from fallen contestants, but they'll have to deposit them to keep them.
Not a bad idea, really. The voice lines are mostly varied enough so that it's not too repetitive, and might do well to remind your random teammates how objectives work and, you know, what they should be prioritizing. Who am I kidding? If you get grouped with some total randoms who actually understand the relatively simple concept of objectives in video games, then you should probably head out and buy a lotto ticket because you're having a really good day. No, of course, you still just have people playing like it's some kind of new TDM, probably worried about their KDR or something. Like, I swear COD is a disease for online gaming. Play the objective, kids. Holy Christ. Anyways, so during the early closed betas, there was definitely something weird about these voiceovers. Besides sounding slightly bored or unbothered by what they were saying, the cadence was just, it was off.
It's time to see what events will try to knock our contestants off their game.
It's hard to explain. It was like listening to a non-native English speaker, like it was some sort of translation error or something. It just sounded weird.
The overdogs have been rattled. Team wiped.
Fast forward to the current beta, and while they've added a woman with a British accent to the fold here, there's still just something so off about the excitement and the delivery. Like, they have a flawed understanding of grammar or something.
Adversity for the big splash, wipeout.
So then early Saturday morning, Gianni Matrigrano, someone who is practically a household name in the indie scene at this point, posted on Twitter about it, and then suddenly it all became clear. It's AI text-to-speech. Isolated, it sounds so bad.
Welcome to Quick Cash, the team that tucks away enough money first triumphs.
Scotty said it!
It's not even being made a secret. They actually openly admitted to it on a Q&A.
Rat Mouse asks, who did the voiceovers? And adds, they sound really authentic.
So here's the kicker. What did the voiceovers? So the thing is, we use AI with a few exceptions.
They literally just mailed it in and said,
screw it, we're gonna save a couple bucks here. You know, it'd be like if I just made these videos using this stupid TikTok text-to-speech voice.
Or maybe this one. I know you Zoomers all seem captivated and compelled by the robot lady voice for whatever reason.
Sure, this works, I guess. You know, if I was just too lazy, or too cheap to do it myself or hire a professional.
Hell, maybe I should just get ChatGPT to write these videos too.
Now, this whole conversation around AI generated, well, anything has been interesting to say the least. Like with any new tech innovation, you have the utterly basic tech bros who fawn over this stuff as if it were their new idol. It's just, I can't get enough of it on Twitter, man. Just give me more. Remember the 15 minutes of fame that Midjourney had going for it there? Despite having downright alien looking stuff, it seemed to really come off as realistic to some people. As someone who has a deep love for photography, I was like genuinely taken aback by how hyped some people were for this stuff. Was this like a spectrum disorder thing? Like seriously, this stuff was truly uncanny valley to me. Even the Midjourney 5 stuff, like the newest stuff, is still just super weird. Okay, what's the issue here? Well, since this seems to be a hard concept for Zoomers who have never had to pay their own bills before, it's pretty simple. You're cutting opportunities for people, real people, to use their talents to get paid. Now, it's not like this is some kind of indie studio trying to save a buck. The Finals is made by Embark Studios, which is a subsidiary of Nexon, who I can tell you for certain aren't hurting for cash. Even if they were doing those frivolous lawsuits against the dark and darker devs. Like, Nexon already has a negative reputation in general after that whole dark and darker fiasco. I mean, they were essentially trying to sue Iron Mace over this game for stealing their IP because, well, the game has wizards and spells and shit. Like, I'm not even kidding. This was some truly insane narcissistic corpo stuff. Like, really basic fantasy IPs type stuff. Like, unbelievable. Listen, Embark Studios is a collection of ex-DICE devs, and the game is really fun so far, so I really want to see a W here, because we need more in the multiplayer FPS space than just the usual names like COD or CS. So part of me wants to defer this as some sort of top-down order from Nexon themselves, but it's not. Embark is fully embracing this because essentially they believe it cuts down on turnaround time for changes to dialogue, which, according to the actual voice actors, like Gianni, this is categorically false. Even their going rates for work is like a mere pittance for what a game like this is surely gonna make in microtransactions alone. It's just tacky and cheap and just such a bad look in general. Thanks for watching.